Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? It actually sounds. No, the sound's fine, man. Yeah, totally good. Thanks for doing this, by the way. Really appreciate it. Okay, so my co-host Jay is on a business call, but I'm just going to get started. All right, so I don't waste your time at all. Um, all right, this is just to give you some background. Um, Jay and I we've started this podcast. Tivoli Brewing Company is basically presenting it, sponsoring it. It's just the goal is to kind of hit every brewery in Denver, talk to their brewers, have a real conversation about how they got started and the kind of the brand of particular breweries. We've got big and small, tiny.
Startup to top 40.
Yeah,
But we're also looking to talk to anybody in the industry as well. So distributors, consultants, the yeast guy here in town from Inland Island. So anybody that's got a dedicated interest and career in brewing or distilling. So we're going to Bear Creek Distillery next week.
yeah, true. So, yeah, so okay, we're recording. I'm just going to ask you, how did you get explain this love of beer that you have? Because of all the people that I follow on Twitter, you're the most active in terms of your celebration of that sweet nectar. Nice.
Yeah, drinking beer is a hell of a lot easier than mixing a cocktail every 20 minutes with kids running around the house. I I can attest to that, having raised a 15-year-old, a 10-year-old, and currently in the process of nearly four. All of them been exposed, for lack of a better word, to both cocktails and beer. Something to be said for just popping the top on a craft beer bottle or can and going to town. Yeah, or $90 bottles of scotch.
Yeah, thus far we've had. Let's see, we did Brute with Tivoli, and then we went to Spangalang and had no. Where did we get the Blood Orange IPA? Where was that?
That was at Spangalang.
That was a Spangalang, and now we had
No, I'm sorry.
no
Blood Orange IPA was at Ratio.
Ratio. Yep, and then today we just had the hazy, so it's hitting here too.
Yeah, you've touched on several emerging trends in the brewery industry, at least in Denver. We might be a little bit behind the curve. What would you say to that? I'm sorry. Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, it's where's what's the sour?
We're
So we
gonna
got the
we're gonna
brewer here at
yeah we're
Grist.
gonna
So
rely.
what's the sour? The best sour place in town? Yeah,
Casey's.
he was saying Casey's. Eno's saying Casey's. What's that? Does that sound familiar? Oh, that's it. You're right. No, it's Casey's. Yeah, Casey's. Okay. Yeah, no, the brewers know. Yeah,
Well done, Eno.
yeah. That's impressive that you knew that. Jay and I don't even know it.
We're standing here with blank stares.
Yes.
We had one of those at Bang-A-Lang the other night.
Yeah, we had one at Spangalang on Tuesday. That was, my God, it was like drinking just straight liquor. It was crazy.
It was amazing.
It was good.
You said you're back in baseball more than beer. How do you tie the two or marry the two together?
That makes me happy because I'm a Peter King reader and all that, but it's I co-host another podcast and we are baseball nuts. So it's nice to, I guess to me, baseball and beer have always kind of gone hand in hand. So what you're doing seems to make sense, and especially being in Colorado. Jay and I here on this podcast, I think baseball come spring is going to really define everything we do. Everything's going to move downtown. I don't know if you been out to Denver before? Okay. Okay. So you went to GABF. You said okay because there's a Falling Rock is actually a tap house right next to Coors that has I don't know Jay what would you say 100 different beers on
They
tap
claim to be like
but
the
it's
first or second largest craft beer
yeah
tap in Denver. And there's a chain that kind of challenges that day to day, but they're one of the originals. They've been there 30 or 40 years.
yeah it's next time you come here make sure you go there.
Yeah, just come into town and we'll buy the baseball tickets.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
come and see us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right there. Yep, it's right across from. I'm trying to think what the other bar. A sports column, I guess. Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, it's around something.
Okay, so next question. What's the most recent beer you've had? Whoa, can we follow you? Can anybody
Touche.
follow Eno Sarris on Untapped? Okay. Yeah.
You know what?
I actually want to get into that after you answer this question about your most recent beer. I want to ask you about beer graphs. Okay. Ooh. Wait, whoa! I grew up just outside of Decorah, Iowa. So the fact that you know what Toppling Goliath is extremely impressive. Nice. Okay, but such a good beer. No, wait. Okay, so we were talking to the guys at Spangalang. Is Toppling Goliath the guy from Great Divide? Is that right? I think that yeah. Wasn't that what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so.
I
That's
don't
what Taylor
remember.
and
And
Darren were
Darren were
saying.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they all worked together actually at Great Divide. Pretty sure that's what it was.
Oh, they did. One of those guys from
Yeah.
Great Divide did go over to Firestone Walker. That makes
No, no,
sense.
to Toppling Goliath.
Oh wait, now I'm lost.
No, I think that's what it was. Yeah, he moved to Iowa and basically said, "I'm going to try to make this the best beer in the country," and he did.
Oh, now, yeah, you got me right
Yeah,
now.
right
We're
there in
gonna
the
have to
middle.
start reviewing these
I know, we have to go
podcasts
back and listen to it.
before we record another one.
Okay, so beer graphs. Explain the premise and what happened because I miss it. That's interesting. Wow.
I'm more of an IBU guy myself, but
Yeah.
ABV is okay too.
So are you traveling a lot just with the athletic and able to kind of experiment with some new places, or is that something you kind of have to do on the side as a hobby?
Tell us what we can send you from Denver in the next couple of weeks.
Grist.
We're at Grist Brewing well, they're located in Highlands Ranch and Park Meadows, or Lone Tree, technically. They've been here a couple of what do we say, 5 years today,
Mhm.
and they're actually experiencing a transition to a new brewer, head brewer Kevin. Kevin, hey. So yeah, I'm taking home a keg. I don't know if I can put that in the mail,
Yeah, I don't
but
think so.
I'm happy to send you a couple of growlers or crowlers, perhaps.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
I'm trying to think like what ratio was actually impressive the other day. Ratio was good. Everything's been we haven't had
Yeah,
shitty beer yet.
we're kind of snobs. We're not interviewing or hanging out with shitty beers, but it's gonna happen eventually. We're gonna
Yeah,
make
we're
a
gonna hit one.
mistake. That being said, Northern California guy, do you ski? Do you snowboard? Do you spend any time in the snow? Yeah, that's okay. The dark side's a bit of a difficult stretch. So, well, you know, there's a thing that baseball and beer go hand in hand, but so does baseball. I'm sorry, so does beer and skiing or snowboarding. And there's a study in Denver that just came out last week via one of our trendy, fluffy magazines saying that, does Denver's après ski scene contribute to an entirely overindulgent drinking scene? And I mean, just saying, like, what would you guess? Baseball versus the winter sports, who drinks more?
Good point.
I gotcha. I'm gonna also challenge you to ski with me one day in Denver, or in the mountains of Denver, and I will guarantee you I carry at least a 4 pack, but that's okay. With that being said, give me maybe your give me your give me your top three ballparks for craft
Yeah,
beer
I
in
was
the
going to ask you
United
that next.
States.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Hmm. Constantly changing. I think.
They've done a good job also of getting St. Louis beers. I've noticed more to Kansas City. I don't. I'm a big fan of. Have you had Mothers before out of Springfield, Missouri? Okay, that's a good one. I'll have to try to get you some of that. Send it your way. It's one of my favorites.
I
Yeah, it's
thought
delicious.
usually our job was to benefit from the interviews to get free beer, but it sounds like you're going to win that game this
Yeah,
time.
apparently we're sending it all to him.
Congratulations. Now, that being said, I'm a little surprised and disappointed, and also not at all upset by the fact that Coors Field not making it in your top three. But I will tell you that from leaving the stadium at Coors Field, you're going to find probably the largest concentration of breweries within a 1 mile radius now. So if you haven't seen maybe a Rockies Dodgers homestand here in Denver, or um, the occasional playoff game, I don't know, that
Very
the
rare, but
very
yeah.
rare, very rare. Maybe you should check it out, and a day game at Coors Field is nothing without a trip to, I don't know. Um,
What's there? Our mutual friend.
our mutual
Ooh,
friend.
yeah.
Ratio is close by. We could do a number of those, but yeah, the Coors Field Lodo neighborhood in Denver, huge brewery hotbed right now. So if you're looking for a change of pace, you should cover the Rockies for a couple of days. Yeah. Well, and then the opposite effect, I think, in Denver, right? Coors Field owned by Coors, so you're limited to really what are they willing to put up with inside the stadium that's not this silver bullet. Um, but you walk out. Yeah, a fat tire is easy, but maybe that makes sense. Um, Public house, and you said San Francisco. Is that accessible only with a baseball ticket? And is that public with a K or public with a C?
Just like that. Okay,
Old
I know
school.
we only have a few more minutes, so it's gonna kill me if I don't ask you some questions. Very intrigued by your little thread on Twitter about changes that baseball needs to make. How are we gonna do something about a pitch clock?
What about the shift? It changes the technical aspect of the
Oh
game.
yeah.
All
I don't
right.
mind the shift though. I mean, the shift's been around for what? It's been almost 100 years.
I don't have a
It's been
problem with it.
around.
I know it's a hot topic this week. Managers meetings, owners meetings, right?
But the Indians, exactly, the Indians were the first ones to do it, right?
Yeah, create invisible lines on the field, almost like lacrosse. Or, well,
Mhm.
lacrosse they're actually physical, but
Um, okay,
it's only weird when the second baseman is playing in right field if he's not been drinking.
that is true. No slow pitch rules, right?
Let's bring it back to beer here.
Yeah. I'm really, yeah, exactly. That's the answer.
I thought it was at second base, but that must be a different game.
No, he's from Northern California, right? They could,
You've apparently met my wife.
yeah. Okay, I gotta ask you again. Okay, December exciting for you? Boring? Are you liking what you're seeing? Are we? I mean, where's Manny Machado going? What do you think?
Yeah, December's more about the chessboard and not flipping a coin or rolling the bones, I guess. Let me ask you this. Rockies are about to sign, and maybe
They
they
did
have.
sign
Oh,
Danny Murphy
what are your
today.
thoughts? We got a new first baseman
No,
here.
second baseman, Jay.
Oh, second. Shit.
Gosh.
I
He can play first
apologize.
base, though. Yeah, I know. More serviceable for sure. Yep. All right, I want to ask you because one of our first guests on our sports podcast was Sean Foreman, who created Baseball Reference. I got to ask you, what's the most telling stat in baseball? Really? Okay. Okay. Like who? Like who are you thinking when you say that? Aaron Judge. Yeah. So, in terms of good strikeout rates, who are some guys out there that have a solid one but may not be mashing home runs? I need to look it up. Gosh, he is. Yeah, that's a good point. Mhm. Yep. Underpaid too. He's making nothing, which is a steal.
Where does beer play into this equation? I mean,
These
like,
guys drink a lot of beer.
are the more powerful batters drinking stouts? Is a better pitcher drinking a light beer or a Coors Light kind of a guy? Right. They put on the baseball glove and boom, like seven beers gone.
Mhm.
We're gonna have to trade some books. We're gonna have to trade some beers
Yep, for
and
sure.
maybe some introductions to some of these baseball players that like beer. Maybe when they're passing through town.
It would be fun.
Oh my god, I'm just gonna
Whoa,
drop
whoa,
the F
whoa!
bomb. Fuck
No, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Let's go see you.
Where are you again? In Palo Alto, right? Yeah, done. All right, Sam and I are on the next plane out.
All right, Eno Sarris, our friend. Thank you so much. We will send you some beer as soon as we can collect enough to send out. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Eno.
All right, have a good, happy holiday. Have a good December, and take care of yourself. Okay.
Cheers.
Bye,